Hey everybody, welcome back to Life Under Deborah's Palm, where today I'm going to talk about trying to get a person with dementia to shower or take a bath, wash their hair. Ugh. It can get real hard. Stay tuned. Into the video, I just wanted to take a minute to give you a little infomercial. So if you noticed in my new opener that there was a book listed at the end for sale on Amazon, I happen to now be an officially published author. My book is called La Belle Communauté, and although that is French and it may sound like it comes from some seedy back alley in Paris in the 1960s, I assure you that is not at all the case. I'm going to read you the blurb really quick, and it says, Abby, better known by her mother as Honey, has been performing the delicate balancing act between keeping her dementia-ridden mother living independently or moving her into a memory care facility. As the disease slowly steals more of Mom, Abby realizes the constant care of her mother is slowly stealing her life. Amid this struggle, there's a bright spot. Amid this struggle, Abby and her husband Jim are invited to a garden party. Abby's in-laws, Barb and Joe, moved into a swanky, gated, all-inclusive living facility known as La Belle Communauté. Barb, a now retired horticulturist, once designed gardens for the who's who of this city. La Belle recently underwent extensive renovations of the outdoor space with Barb at the helm. Now comes the inaugural unveiling, to which Jim and Abby have VIP seats. Life doesn't always work out the way that we would like, and things are not always as they seem. But what's really going on behind the gates of La Belle? Come to the gardens and meet the residents of La Belle Communauté, who will make you both laugh and cry. The book is obviously available on Amazon, and it is available in worldwide distribution. It is also available at your favorite bookstore, and it is available on all e-readers, whether it's Kindle, Nook, Kobo, whatever you use. The price for the e-reader is $6.99, but I do happen to know if you have a Nook, it's currently listed for $6.49. The print copy. Here comes the weirdness. I can only control my pricing in the US and the UK. And the pricing in the US currently for print is $12.99 on Amazon. The price of print is about to go up, so I'm not sure how long it's going to stay at that price. For my viewers across the pond, the book is available through Amazon for the print copies just over £8, and the e-reader is just about £4. For those of you that are in Australia and Canada and any other nation, you can get it on Amazon. It is going to be more expensive. It is going to be the equivalent of $18.99 US dollars. I think in Australia it was around 23 Australian dollars. I don't remember what the Canadian price was, but I can't control that. You can also go to your local bookstores, and it would be a special order. They're not going to stock 1,000 of my books yet. But if you go to your local bookstore, I don't know what they'll charge you. $18.99 is the officially listed cover price, but they get a huge discount on that, so I don't know if they would mark it back up to $18.99 or give you a lower price. Something you might want to look into. If you're interested, check it out. I will put the link below. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Thank you. Okay, so first I'm going to do some pretty quick housekeeping. Of course, if you like this channel, please consider subscribing, sharing, and of course you can leave comments below. If you've seen my About video, you know that part of what I want to do besides the dementia videos is to do some things that talk about God and spirituality and destiny, plan, purpose. Yeah, even in the middle of dealing with caretaking dementia, those things still exist. There are going to be some uploads for that, and I also wanted to let you know that I have made the playlist, the Dementia Road, so if you're looking strictly for dementia videos, they will be uploaded there. Also, if you are a bigger fan of the platform Rumble, I am uploading all my videos there as well. So let's get on with it. As dementia goes on, this doesn't happen to everybody, but a lot of people will get to the point where they will just become a struggle when it comes to showering and bathing. I don't know why. I suppose the experts could take a guess, but I will share some of the things that we went through and kind of how we got through it. We didn't always win. You're not always going to win the battle. Sometimes you're just going to have to let it go. My mother is not having an issue with this at this point in time. My mother-in-law was really an issue, and I think we saw a few things. One, she had a lot of mobility issues, and hers was in assisted living, so they just have showers. There are no bathtubs. There's nothing to step over. But my mother-in-law, when she was well, was a strong-willed person, we'll say. Things were her way or the highway, period. And that carried on even with dementia. So to tell her, hey, it's time to take a shower. I don't need a shower. Who's telling me I need to take a shower? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not stupid. I don't need to take a shower. I just took one. No, trust us, you did not just take one. But that was her personality, and that comes into play, and that is partly what made things so difficult with her. And I think that she also struggled with embarrassment. She was overweight for a lot of her life, and she was overweight still in her later years, but I think somewhere that those things were still coming to the surface with her, and she was just embarrassed to have somebody do that for her. I think another thing that may be an issue that we don't think about is the idea of fear. We went out, and my father-in-law was pretty far into the disease, and he was kind of nonverbal a lot. So I looked at him, and his hair, like right here, was just like sticking straight up. So I said to him, your hair is sticking up. I'm going to put it down. So I was kind of trying to tell him what I was going to do, and I reached at him like this. And the fear in his eyes was incredible. His eyes got like this big, and as my hand came at him, he went like he was trying to duck, and my hand, like, I don't know if he thought he was getting punched or what he thought. But after 2 tries, I actually went behind him and did his hair from the back. So imagine you're in the shower now, and the water's coming at your face. If that concept is true about the hand reaching, that really may be something that's fearful. You don't know what their eyes are processing sometimes, and they told us when we moved them into memory care, there was someone who said, you know what, the experts have told us that when there's a change, a transition in the floor, so maybe it goes from carpet to vinyl flooring, that their eyes can pick up a hole. So they think they're stepping into a hole. I have no idea how they know that, but we've watched people where they get up to that transition and they kind of teeter a little, like they don't know if they can step or if they should step. So you don't know what their eyes are processing in the shower with water coming at them. And my last theory is they just don't get it. That's how it gets as it goes. They don't understand why they need to take all their clothes off and have water put on them. And that may sound weird, but that is how it goes as time goes on. They just may not get it. So if you saw my other videos, you know anosognosia, without knowledge of disease, they don't believe anything's wrong. They believe they've already showered. They just don't get it. And they'll argue with you on that. So how are you going to get around it? Well, some of this may work, some of it may not work, and it depends. Are you dealing with them at home, or are you dealing with them at assisted living? And I'll talk a little bit about both. So if you're home and you have to bathe your loved one, so if they're home, they really become used to one person. And if you want to transition them to an aide to do the bathing, that can be a little tough too. And I would suggest that you have the aide, you and the aide work together the first couple times so the aide can see how you do it and may be able to offer tips as well. The first thing you do is collect all your stuff. Your shampoo, your soap, your washcloth. Do you need a shower chair? Do you need a tub? They should have a non-skid surface. Do they have a tub mat or whatever you need for that? Do you need to get mats down or up? You don't want them slipping on the floor. You don't want them tripping over carpets. That's kind of the no-brainer-ish type stuff. Some obvious stuff is the temperature, the air temperature of the bathroom warm enough? Is the temperature of the water warm enough, cold enough, whatever it needs to be? But I would say watch for things like trigger words. If you said, hey, it's time to take a shower, and they started getting all freaky, maybe you should change shower to spa. Let's go to the spa. It's spa time, or we need to clean up, or we need to wash, something that's not shower. I also think things like music. Music is just an amazing thing, and if they had a particular type or style of music that they liked, get it playing in the bathroom. You know, make it fun if you can make it fun. Maybe they like to dance. You can get them kind of moving in and sort of take the stress off them about getting in the shower to begin with. Another thing that may help, maybe this is a girl thing, I don't know, scented candles, aromatherapy, something like that. A plant, fake flowers. You're going to the spa, ladies, or whatever you think works for them. Just something that kind of takes the edge off it. If you have a shower chair and you have a wand that's, a removable wand or one you can hook up for them, I would use one of those just because it's not coming at their face and kind of spraying off their body as much. And that sensation may really bother them. And I would start with their lower extremities, like their feet, their ankles, and work your way up, and even like put your hand ahead of like here, and then the water coming behind it, so they kind of know where you're going and it doesn't startle them and spook them out. If you don't have that ability, you don't have a detachable shower wand, turn the chair around so that it hits their back and tell them what you're doing. I'm turning the water on now, get ready, the shower's gonna come on, you're gonna feel it on their back. I know that it doesn't always click, but I think that's really helpful. If they're able to wash themselves fairly well, let them do it. If you can pull the shower curtain and kind of peek in and make sure they're doing what they need to be doing, I would do that. I never took anything away from my mom that she could do. I watched her to make sure she could do it, but geez, give them a little dignity. They might need help with getting the soap on the washcloth or shampoo out of the bottle if they can't squeeze the bottle, but let them do what they can do. I would never leave them alone in the bathroom. That's just asking for trouble. I hope that goes without saying anyways. It's kind of like leaving a little kid. You can't do that. They might try to get up on you, slip, trip, fall, bust a hip. Yeah, no. The last thing I'm going to talk about really quick is what if they're in assisted living and they're having an issue. If you go into your assisted living facility where your loved one is and you notice they really need a shower, don't freak out. Go talk to the caseworker, or one of the aides usually knows kind of what's going on, depending. And you might find out that they have just tried and struggled and they don't know how to get her in the shower. Don't forget, it's assisted living. They will not force anyone against their will. So find out first if they're having an issue bathing them or washing their hair. Like I said, we did have that issue with my mother-in-law, and there was an aide that seemed to do really well, and that does make a difference. One aide to the next, sometimes they just have a little more experience and they know how to handle them better than a younger person that hasn't really dealt with the dementia. I've seen aides that think they can just, you do this and you'll get in and do that, and it doesn't work. They don't really know how to work with them, but my mother-in-law ended up with an aide that seemed to be really good and just understood her personality and worked with her and worked around it. She got her to bathe more often than not, but we still had problems. And in the facility where she was at, they wanted them showered a minimum of once a week. Yes, they gave them sponge baths in between, but they really wanted them to just get in the shower and, you know, get clean once a week. And they did their best with that. One of the things we did was they had a hair salon there in the facility, and it cost us like $15 a week to have our hair shampooed and set. We did that. Maybe that's an option for you, maybe that's not. You know, it's a financial issue as well, $15 a week. Some people it may not work for, but she didn't have a problem with that for some reason. Another thing we did was basically lie. We just lied about stuff, and we worked around the lies until we found lies that worked, and they don't work all the time, and the next time the one that worked may not work. My mother-in-law was always a well-dressed person. You know, she liked nice clothes and she liked to look nice when she went out, and so when my husband would go over, he would tell her things like, she had this word she used to use called scoopity, and he would go, "Ma, you look scoopity, we're going out, you don't want to look scoopity, do you?" That worked sometimes, sometimes it didn't, and she'd go, "What? No, I do? What do you mean I look scoopity? Oh no, I think you need a shower. No, I just took one. No, you need another one." There were days it would work, there were days it wouldn't work. Another thing that we would do is he'd get up there and he would say, "You know, I was gonna take you to lunch today, but you have to take a shower and get your hair washed before we go." She'd argue, "Why do I have to do that?" You know, the usual, we've all been there. But that would work sometimes. He'd say, no, you gotta get in the shower. And if you have issues with them and clean clothes, if you're there and you can get them in the shower, you can find a new set of clothes for them, because we all know that's an issue too. But he would do that. He would use the same for clothing issue. "You don't want to look scoopity, Ma. Oh my gosh, you got a stain." And she'd go, "I don't have a stain." And he'd go, "Oh, it's on the back. You can't see it, but I can. Let's get a new shirt. Let's get a new pair of pants." That worked. Not always, but if we alternated things around, usually we could find something. So he would say, "We're going out to lunch. You need to get in the shower before we can go." And she really liked to go out, so sometimes that would work. He would be able to just get her to get in the shower. And if you're thinking, "I'm not taking them anywhere, they're not going out," they probably won't remember that you told them they were going out by the end of the shower. So whatever you think that they would like to do, if it's kind of like a little kid. Don't do, "If you don't do this, we're not going." Turn it around and say, "You know, you really need to do this so we can go. Do whatever, see whoever, I don't know, whatever you're going to do, read a book, play bingo, I don't know." But those things very often were the things that we used that almost always worked. If you're in assisted living and you do get that, like, "Yay, I got them, they're going to get in the shower," we found the aides were very willing to work with us. We would stop on the way in. My husband would say, "Okay, I'm going to see if I can get my mom in the shower. If I can get her in, do you have someone that can help me?" Because he certainly did not want to shower his own mother, and you know what guy does. So a lot of times the aides would just work with him, and they'd go, "Yep, you let me know." And sure enough, he'd get him in, he'd get her moving, he'd run down and get an aide, and the aide would kind of, so you had to be smart, because I told you she was very stubborn and independent and didn't know she couldn't be independent anymore. Aide would stand around the back side of the door kind of a little bit, just to make sure when she got in, you know, that she was safe and didn't slip and trip, and helped her get dried off and cleaned and made sure she had everything so that my husband didn't have to. So there are ways to work with them. Hopefully you got a decent assisted living facility. And when all else fails, There are dry shampoos, there are sponge baths that they're just gonna have to, I guess, deal with that instead of a full shower. Those things do work as well. Sometimes you just gotta go with what works that day. I hope this helps. If you have any ideas yourself, please feel free to put them in the comment section. Have a great day.